Hello, this is Julie Hogue with Vegetarians and Meat Lovers Split Table Recipes. I am coming at you today with a little short mini episode because my family is getting ready to go on vacation to a cabin for a week, and I'm really excited and I'm like totally overloaded with things to do. But I wanted to put out something out there to give you guys a yummy recipe. I'm so excited to do what we're doing. We're going to the cabin that was in my family. My dad's family purchased it when my dad was 1, and my dad has now passed away. But the cabin stayed with my aunts, but they are both older and they are just ready to be done. So they're going to sell the cabin. So we're going up one last time, but it's been a long time since we went up there. In fact, my youngest doesn't even remember the place. So we're really excited to go and have some nostalgic times and just good memories, make new good memories. And we're going to miss the cabin terribly, but it's an expensive sucker. And I don't know, we couldn't even probably buy it. It's probably worth a fortune because it's on a very nice lake up north and, a lot of shoreline. So it's worth a lot of money. So, but they're just done taking care of it. And I totally get that. So we're getting ready, but we're so busy. There's so much to do. It's so much fun. I hope you're having a great summer and hope you're enjoying some things like going on vacation or cabins or wherever you go. We're going up north. I like a total Minnesota way to say we're going up north. Everybody says that from the Twin Cities, like everything is north. So we say we're going up north, wherever that is. It's just north somewhere, right? So it's a common phrase here that everyone says, we're going up north. So I have this amazing recipe, and I modified it from one of my guests, Rosemary Molloy. She makes some kind of a frozen yogurt bark. So I took her recipe and I switched it up, and mine are more like bars rather than bark. And I actually changed the recipe quite a bit. So I got the idea from her, but I pretty much totally redesigned the recipe. So this one it's so yummy. It's so unique too. And so you can make it with strawberries or bananas. I'm going to start off with a banana recipe. And basically, if you're going to switch the fruit, you just basically change the fruit. Some things I want to do too is like maybe do both fruits or, there's so many different variations of this you could do. So this is so easy too. That's what I love because it's something you can mix up. And it's a little bit on the healthy side for a dessert because you're using yogurt. So these are frozen yogurt bars. And the way you make it is you take 2 cups of Chobani Greek yogurt, the whole milk kind. I use plain or vanilla. I've tried either or, and they're both good. And then 1 cup of Chobani Greek yogurt, vanilla, 0% milk fat. Or you can use plain again here too. I've used both, depending on what the store has. Sometimes you get to the store and they don't have vanilla or they don't have plain. It does change the taste a little bit, but they're both really good. So basically you're using these 2 yogurts and it's kind of a healthy dessert, And then you do 3 tablespoons of honey and then you add the yummy part. I do 2 Hershey bars and I break up the Hershey bars into chunks. You can make them how big you want or how little. I haven't grated them. I've left them more as big chunks, which is so yummy because you get that surprise. And then you add your fruit, which 1.5 to 2 cups of fresh fruit. When I used bananas, I used 3 ripe bananas. And then basically you just whisk the yogurts with the honey, stir in the chocolate bar pieces, and then spread in a parchment-lined 9x13 glass dish. I've done a smaller one too, just makes thicker bars, obviously. And then you cover it with wrap and you freeze it. For like 4 to 5 hours is the best time to do it, and then serve it. And the reason it's the best to do that because you can actually cut through it and it's a little bit soft still. If you do have leftovers or you're going to serve it later on, I usually just pull it out and let it sit on the counter for a little bit so it can get a little bit soft, and then you can cut it. And it works best if you pick it up with your fingers and bite it, or if you really let it thaw quite a bit, you could eat it with a fork or a spoon. But it's so delicious. So I've done it with bananas and with strawberries. It's so good. It's a really refreshing bar that you can have at night, and it's not overloaded with a lot of sugar. It's kind of on the healthy side if you're going to have kind of more of a healthy dessert because you're using yogurt. You're not adding in a whole lot of sugar. I mean, there is sugar, there's honey and the chocolate, but you're not adding actual sugar. So it's maybe a little bit more healthy for you. It's a great dessert for summertime. So I'll put that down in the podcast show notes so that you can easily access that. It's super easy. It's super good. And if you really wanted to, another idea I had was you could put some sort of a stick in there. You could do it in like muffin cups and put like a stick in each one. Something like that would be, take like a muffin pan and fill all the holes with the yogurt, and you could put a stick in there of some sort. Maybe cut the popsicle sticks in half. But I think too, I'm not sure how you would do that with a parchment unless you sprayed it with cooking spray. Now, I have not tested this out, so you can test it out. Maybe you wipe it with oil because you want it to be able to come out, right? You don't want it to be stuck in the pan. So try that out and see. I'd love to know if it works. I'll have to try that myself sometime. And then the other recipe I'm going to share is a fun summer one if you like tomatoes. So right now in Minnesota, we're starting to get a lot of ripe tomatoes. And so that's just so delicious. And that's why I love this recipe because it's loaded with tomatoes. And those fresh garden tomatoes, or from if you buy them from a garden stand, they're just amazing, right? So this is a fresh tomato, onion, and 4-cheese salad. Now this one isn't so good leftover. This is one you're going to want to eat right after you make it. And the leftovers, they kind of, I don't know. It's not a great leftover salad. Let's put it that way. So you're going to take 5 to 6 large tomatoes chopped, 2 scallions chopped. I use the full scallion. And then 1/4 cup chopped yellow onion, 1 teaspoon minced garlic, juice of 1 lime, 1 tablespoon oil. I have used olive or toasted sesame oil. 1 tablespoon balsamic vinegar, 1/2 cup shredded Parmesan cheese, 1/2 cup feta cheese, 1/4 cup grated Parmesan, Romano, and Asiago cheese blend. You can buy those cheese blends already all mixed. Stir it up and let it sit for about 15 minutes prior to serving and eat it. And that's it. It's super easy, but it's so good. It's really good. But we had a little bit left over when we have had it before, and it just it's not a great leftover salad. It's a eat it now salad best. And it's probably because of the tomatoes. Once you chop up tomatoes, I don't know, they just don't do well. Unless they're coated in oil or something, then they're usually better. But those big tomatoes don't tend to do great once they've been chopped up. I'm sure you probably already know this. So those are 2 recipes I wanted to share with you. And this is a really short episode. But I got so much to do. I got to go shopping. I've got to pack things. And it's been a busy work week, so I have not thought about making a meal list plan yet for the time we're up there. But we're going to do most of the shopping up there because it's so much work to haul all those groceries up there. So we're going to be so loaded up. This is crazy. We're going to have to take 2 vehicles up for the 5 of us because we're also bringing our 2 dogs and our 2 guinea pigs. So it's going to be, and we're bringing our boat. So we have to do 2 cars. And so it's going to be really interesting. There's no way all 5 of us would fit in one vehicle with all of our stuff and the pets. It wouldn't even be possible. So we're going to be quite the entourage going up north, and we're really excited. This is the lake I totally grew up on going to. We were always up there all the time, 3 to 4 times a summer, week long. My dad was a teacher. My mom was a nurse. So we were able to spend a lot of time up there. We shared it with my dad's other 2 siblings. So each family got a week, and now it's like a rotating every 3 weeks, everybody, and then it would start over. So we would go up there for a full week. So I have a lot of memories of being up there. And a lot of fun memories. And my kids do too. They're actually the older 2. I remember going there, whereas the youngest doesn't remember it. I think the last time we went, he was around 3. So it's crazy to think about how much time has passed. And our younger dog hasn't been up there either. So it's so funny to think about that. We had a crazy thing happen with our older dog. We had just gotten him when we were up there, and he got freaked out and he took off. And we spent hours looking for this dog. And he was a very skittish dog. He was a rescue dog at the time. And we'd only had him a very short time, a few months. But he fell in love with my husband. And so the way we ended up finding him was because the dog ended up hearing him when they were going around in the truck. He and my brother-in-law and other people were walking. They were going around in the truck trying to look everywhere for the dog. And we kept hearing sightings of someone seeing a dog darting through the woods. And So my husband went there and where the sightings had been, the most recent sightings, and he got out of the car and he was talking, and the dog heard him and recognized his voice and came running like a bullet out of the woods and right up to him. Like he had an instant bond with my husband, Billy, because he rescued him from he was in one of those foster homes for dogs. And so he immediately attached himself to my husband. It was like an immediate bond, and they still have that bond. But he heard my husband and he came running to him from out in the woods. I mean, it's kind of an amazing story that happened, because we were really worried we'd never get him back, because he was one of those dogs that apparently, had been traumatized. He was very fearful, very skittish, and he was just scared of a lot of things. So we thought he was gone. We thought no one's going to be able to help him because he won't let anybody help him, because he was so skittish, so irrational. And he still has a bit of that personality, but he's mellowed out with that somewhat anyway. But yeah, so that's the story of when we went up and we actually got him back. I mean, it was amazing. He's such a little zoomy guy, and he still is, even when he's like almost 15, and he's still fast. He's still zoomy, and it's hard though now because he can't hear. So we're having to do sign language, like when we use our hands, like the come here if you want to go potty. Like he can't hear, so he can't be like, hey, you want to go potty? Like he doesn't hear words. So it's getting to be a challenge. So anyway, thank you so much for listening to my podcast. And next time I'll do a longer episode, but I hope you're having an amazing summer. And thanks again for listening, and enjoy these recipes. Let me know if you like them. Give my podcast a rating, a review. I'd love to hear if you like one of my recipes, or if you have suggestions. Make a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for listening, and you have an amazing day. Love ya. Bye-bye.